So the way that you would overthrow the freest country in the world, America, is you wouldn't do it by force. You would do it through the church, through your ministries, and through the mafia. Again, all roads lead back to Rome. The Vatican is the beast. If you still want to acknowledge that as the Church of Christ, then you're following the beast, and Christ is not the beast. So I'm going to use just one small town to show how they do this, and they've been doing it for a very long time. Before I do, my last video I knew would not get seen. They will suppress it. It has one view because it goes back to the way that I came upon this is because Charlie Kirk's mother and father just happened to work out of the same building. So strange, you know. I mean, one's in architecture in this building for 38 years, and the mother is a licensed counselor out of the same building, the same suite. So usually, if you're going to have, and the building that they're out of, like if you're renting office space, you know, usually you list the name of that building. So the building they're in is Gulo International. That's the same address. So usually you're going to list your offices out of this complex, you know, the Gulo International. No, they just have that address. Not buying it just because I know that when I looked on the professional regulations board for Kirk's mother being an LCPC when he was alive, I couldn't find anything under her married name or last name. But lo and behold, when he died and everybody started asking about where's his family, where's his parents, well, then all of a sudden it appeared on the board, the Illinois Professional Regulation site. But that shouldn't be a surprise when you live in a state that is controlled by the mafia, the Sicilian Vatican mafia. Then that should be expected because they own all the commercial land, most especially in a town in the suburbs just outside of Chicago that's called Elk Grove Village. Yeah, see that? This isn't what our flag looks like, but this apparently is where they want to go. Yeah. So, see, this is why I've said for 5 years now, this will be something God has to intervene in. It will be. God is not going to. The Vatican has gone all through the world and has pillaged land and has brought it on the heels that we're here about love and Christ knows it's not. It has just, you know, and all the other denominations took from that poisonous tree. You just have to trust Jesus, and you have to know the Holy Spirit to understand this, and look into their history. But that's ultimately who's behind it, but with their mafia ties, because it's all about this, where is it? Termini or Amirs in Sicily. So, as I said, Elk Grove Village is a small, not small, but you know, it's a suburb outside of Chicago. Okay, it's in the north suburbs. You could see, look, we have all this again, once again, all the Roman Greco BS. And it's all about this program, the Elk Grove Village Italian Sister Cities, Inc. Started in 2000 as a nonprofit organization which joined the village of Elk Grove Village, Illinois, and the city of, they consider each other sisters, and they say it's all about, you know, trade and economics and culture. No, this is just a way to overtake. I mean, when you start doing stuff like that, you're just looking to overtake. And they're doing it, and you wouldn't think, oh, they're not trying. Yes, they are. It's this city in Italy is all Catholic and heavily mob affiliated. Heavily. Vatican is the mob. They're out of their 265, over 200 priests. Most of them come from mafia affiliated, or not priests, the popes. Okay, it's been a syndicate and racket since the beginning. It's why God didn't want this structure crap. He was bringing the Holy Spirit in here. Then that was the church. He knew this would happen, but That's where we're at now. So this is how they've been trying to overtake America, because this all goes back to the Gula family, Gullo. They are the ones that own the Gula International, which is where this is all out of. That's the base, is the same place where Kirk's parents list as their place of work. The thing is, this Gula International also is George Gula Development Corporation. They own most of the commercial land in Elk Grove Village and many places outside of O'Hare Airport. It is one of the largest real estate development companies in the Chicago area, particularly around the O'Hare market. It owns and controls a vast portfolio of industrial commercial properties in Elk Grove Village and surrounding areas, reportedly covering over 3 million square feet of space and approximately 75 acres of undeveloped land available for future development. Yeah, it looks that they're looking to build one of those data centers, okay? But this is how you do it, because if you own most of the commercial property in, say, the town like Elk Grove Village, and then you own the hospital because of the Vatican, because Elk Grove, see, Ascension, Alexian Brothers, this is, and you can see down here, it's in Elk Grove Village. It's been there for a while. Well, Alexian Brothers is a sect of the Catholic Church. So that's how you do it. You can totally control a government. Because how could you do anything? You have one family that with the Vatican that owns everything. So that's how you do it. And then you take people from Elk Grove Village on trips, like the politicians, take them on trips to Italy, particularly that town I had just said, that's in Italy, in Sicily, Termina or Mise. It has historical connections to the mafia and notorious figures and events going back to 1893. So that's what's going on. And then on top of it, all tied to the Catholic Church. That's the way the church is that Catholic Vatican Rome there. I don't care what anybody says, okay? That it's condemned, okay? God judged it a long time ago because it's been the underworld. It doesn't mean the Bible is. It doesn't mean, they just came in and they wanted to control people, control countries. It's why the Vatican is most responsible for the wars in the world. And then I'll tell you in another video how the Alexian brothers, tied not to the hospital, well, it is tied to the hospital, but I'll tell you more about that in a different video because it ties to the Indians, yeah, interestingly enough. But that's a different video. But as you can see, for this program to take politicians to Italy and come see this Sicily heavily mob-affiliated town, look at Gullo, and then at the bottom, Gullo. Director, they're all behind this. Because they're the ones that own all of the commercial land around O'Hare. And O'Hare's the airport, main airport in Illinois. See, it's all this wanting, that's why they wanted to make us look like the Roman Empire. Yeah, this, again, the Roman Empire nailed Jesus to a cross. But you can see this is what it's all about. It's all here since 2000. That's what it's been going on. Then they have this whole student exchange program. They bring their mob-affiliated family members here. That's how you overtake a country without doing it violently. Not that they wouldn't get violent. But they don't realize that God's coming for them all. He is. He won't let them take this country. And strangely, when I tried, you see up there at the very top, it says gullo.org. This site didn't take me anywhere. I was just trying to look up the family. and there was this site, and this is all there is, the skulls.